my name is Peter and I'm a fragrance bro.
Hey Fragrance family, I'm Daver.
And I'm George.
And we're the Fragrance Bros! Come at you again with another review with special guest George from Fragrance Apprentice. How you doing, George?
I'm brilliant. I'm fantastic. It's good to be here as always. So.
Well, thank you for coming on. Always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you.
And today we are reviewing Nautica Voyage by Nautica. Now, date introduced is 2006. It's classified as a woody aquatic. Notes are apple, mimosa, green leaves, lotus, linen sail accord, cedar, moss, amber, and musk. Now, George, what do you get out of longevity out of this?
Longevity I get excellent, actually. 8 to 10 hours, mostly every time.
Yeah, I would say I would get up about that too, about the 8-hour range for me, which is I would consider average. But yeah, can't complain there. What about projection?
Like super average.
Yeah.
To your point, I'd say that honestly for this type of scent, I rate 8 to 10 hours as excellent for such a watery aquatic. Yeah, I'd say super average with projection. If people come into your space, they can smell you. Anything after that, just nothing. And it never really changes. It never goes to a skin scent or blasts out. It's always just average throughout the duration.
Yeah, I agree. It's been mostly average in my use too, which I'm okay with. I think this type of scent would be kind of weird if it was super loud.
Yeah.
So in this case, I actually prefer it to be in the average range.
Yeah, I agree.
Season, I would say this is great for spring and summer and daytime mostly. And purpose, I would say this is great for work and casual.
Yeah, for me this would be exclusively summer. If you're living in a climate of high heat, this is superb. This is a superb fragrance for that. It's a ridiculously casual fragrance. You're not going to get any promotions wearing this fragrance. I'm just saying that. So any lucrative business owners, don't do this unless you're a sailor.
So George, what does this remind you of?
Man, it actually reminds me of being super young. You know, like those intense package holidays that your parents would take you on. You know, and it like a theme park holiday or anything like that. And it's just all either a beach or a theme park.
Yeah.
And it's like really hot. It gives me that vibe.
You know, this really reminds me a lot of exactly their marketing. So, you know, their marketing is you know, it's a sailboat and it's on the ocean. When I smell this, I really do kind of get that imagery just by smelling it.
Yes.
And I really actually like it for that reason. You know, I don't review a lot of cheaper fragrances on my channel. I think a lot of times you have to slog through a lot of bad ones to get to some good ones in the cheap realm.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why I don't do a lot of cheapy fragrance reviews.
No.
But that said, there are some gems out there that are really ridiculously cheap.
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And I really like this fragrance. Every time someone asks me, what fragrance should I wear? I only have a certain amount of money to spend. I immediately go to, have you tried Nautica Voyage?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's incredibly likable and it's only, you know, it's less than $20 here in the States.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's also unique, which is another rarity for a cheaper fragrance. Because a lot of times, cheaper fragrances tend to copy expensive fragrances. Or they tend to copy each other, or, you know, sometimes they just smell like the mall, or they just smell generic.
Lamani! Oh, I'm sorry.
But this is not that. This is unique. And to me, uniqueness is one of those hallmarks that I look for in a fragrance.
Yeah.
And it usually always makes me love it if I find it unique. This is one of those. So that brings me to another point. This is kind of a philosophical point. And that topic is quality. What does quality mean? If you listen to different people discuss quality in the fragrance world, you come to think that quality means expensive. That quality means the cost of ingredients. And I've talked about this in one of my book reviews. It's actually a book review that had Raja Dove as one of the guest writers in there.
Nice.
I love Raja Dove. I think he is an incredibly talented person. But one of the things that he espouses as a perfume creator is that quality is how much an ingredient costs. And coming from his perspective, he's looking for ingredients that cost a lot because how much you put into extracting the ingredient will get you a different result. So the cost of the ingredient is directly related to the quality of the ingredient as a perfumer in that regard. As a consumer, though, quality is perceived differently. So we perceive not the cost of the ingredients, we perceive the design.
Yes.
So the design of the fragrance will be, how does it smell? It doesn't matter what I can pick up or anything. Does it smell good? Is it pleasant? Is it unique? So we're looking for the design. And this is one reason why people love Apple. It's not because of the components.
No.
You know, you don't go to them and say, "Oh man, this has 16 gigs of RAM."
No,
You're like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's the design. People love the Apple design.
Yeah.
And this was designed superbly. This was made by Maurice Roussel, who is, very seasoned perfumer in the perfumer world.
Definitely.
This was not his first fragrance. When he made this, you can tell it was made by someone who has experience making a fragrance.
Yes.
And that's what I really love about this. It's very inexpensive, but it's well made. And that to me is the quality.
Nautica Voyage is a well thought out, well constructed aquatic fragrance. And it's one of those fragrances that has a very sort of striking personality, and it totally goes with the theme of what it wants to be. So like you said, the nautical lifestyle, which is being free, sailing the open seas, wearing a crisp white shirt and just enjoying life to the fullest. And this definitely has that. This definitely has that theme. There's a lot of different stuff going on in here, which I really, really like. Ironically, it has apple in it as well, so I don't know. But the genuine sort of crisp fruitiness, almost like an ice cold cucumber, right?
Yeah, but I get cucumber.
Yeah,
in this.
right. As it dries down, it starts to smell like a fabric, right? Or a certain type of linen, but it has a strong sort of tone of like brand new shoes.
Okay.
Right, but mixed with the ice cold cucumber and the more fruity accords. But the thing that I love about this is that it's very striking. It is unique, and it's gone out of its way to construct a story or a olfactory perception of what a certain lifestyle is.
As far as smell goes, I'm with you. I definitely get the apple. That's apparent.
Yeah.
I get kind of a cucumber type of vibe.
Yeah.
Which I really love in this. It does smell really crisp. And green.
Yes.
Which is really refreshing.
Yep.
And cooling.
Yeah.
Love that. There's definitely like a white musk type of smell in there.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like I do smell like a type of cottony type fabric thing.
Yeah, cotton kind of thing, like a linen or something.
So Yankee Candle has a scent that smells like fresh cotton.
Okay.
And you need to go back and smell it, because that reminds me of this a little bit. There's like that smell of that cotton type of candle in this.
The thing is that I do have a couple of problems with it. Now this is one of the only fragrances where, like, when I first smelled this, I was in love with it. Oh my goodness, absolutely in love with it, couldn't get enough of it. But actually my interest in it slightly kind of declined, and one of the big things with it was it is synthetic. If you're bothered about synthetic fragrances, this might not be for you. It's a shame, because everything else is right. Everything else chimes correctly, but there is a very overarching synthetic vibe.
It's almost salty, it's very cool and breezy, it's bright and happy. I really like this fragrance.
Yeah.
It smells better than its price point, and that creates a really huge value for this type of fragrance.
Yeah. Not just that, but I would love to mention, I love the bottle. Usually at this price point, the bottle can be really, really wrong, but I think that it's so classical, and it just really, really signifies the lifestyle of what it's kind of trying to promote.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant, brilliant bottle.
Bang for buck, this is ridiculous. You can get this here in the States for $15 for 100 ml. That's incredible.
If you were to make a sort of a top 5 bang for buck kind of video, which you never would, this would be in like in the top 3 because like it is good. It's ridiculously high quality juice. There's a lot of, like we've said, there's a lot of unique things going on. But man, like I bought 100 mil for 14 quid, and that's a steal.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate steal. It's one of those things that a fragrance collector dreams of. You know, like I just wish that I could just buy something and just not like just buy something and not even blink, and it'd be high quality, and it'd be really good and something to enjoy. And for that reason, this is that.
Now, what about compliments? Do you get any compliments when you wear this?
Interestingly, not really. I really enjoyed, wearing it, so I wasn't that bothered. I was like, screw you guys, I love it. When I mentioned it, people were like, oh, that's nice, but it wasn't like, wow, that's really good. So that was kind of disappointing, but I am just trying to be honest about it.
Yeah, I agree. I got the same results. I wear it and no one really says anything. I think it might have to do with the fact that it kind of smells like clean clothes in a way.
Yeah.
Like you just got them laundered and you're wearing just clean clothes. People probably think, oh, he has clean clothes on. He's a clean guy. I don't need to give him a compliment.
He's had a wash in the past several days. He's a keeper.
That's right.
Yeah.
My wife, she thought it kind of smelled a little weird, and she thought it was a little bit feminine,
right,
which I understand because there's a little bit of a floral aspect in this, a light floral aspect. So she wasn't blown away by it either. Okay. So final rating, what do you give this?
This was a hard one, but I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars. It's definitely it's one of the most blind buyable fragrances ever. You can really fall in love with it. You can really enjoy it. But for me, I do have a few things that can do the aquatic and marine genre a bit better. But this definitely has quality, and this definitely has like my full respect for what it is. So 3 stars, David.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a 4 star, 4 out of 5. I really like this. I think it's a fantastic value, a great scent. The only criticism that I would have is that even though I do really like it, it doesn't wow me in the fact that some fragrances do. This is a very well-constructed, safe scent. So that's all we have. What do you think of Nautica Voyage? Let us know down in the comments down below. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. And of course, I'll link George's channel, Fragrance Apprentice, down in the comments down below.
Yep.
Thank you again, George, for coming on. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me on, David. I'll see you soon. I'm the Fragrance Press, and I'm out.
We'll see you next time. We're the Fragrance Brothers. Bye. Almost like Uomo from Valentino.
No, well, nothing can be quite good as Whammo, because just stop trying to upset me. All right, just stop it. There's no need to upset me, David. We were talking before about this. It was like, George, why don't you come down to Alabama? And up until that very second, I was going to do it, folks. I was going to do it.